I love a good story. I love to listen to a good story. I love to read a good story. I love to tell a good story. If you want my undivided attention, tell me a story. You will have it. Well, I've been spending time in a story from the Bible. It's the story of Ruth, and many of you are familiar with it already. Really, it's more the story of Naomi and Elimelech than the story of just Ruth. Naomi and Elimelech lived in Bethlehem, and a famine came to Bethlehem. So Elimelech decided to take his wife and his sons, that had never lived outside of Bethlehem as far as we know, and move to Moab because the famine hadn't reached there and there was food in Moab. Now, on the surface, that seems innocent enough. I mean, we all know people who've done pretty much the same thing, where maybe they live in an area where there aren't many jobs, or maybe they have a job but a much better job comes along. So they pack up and they move across the state, across the country, to where they can make a better life for their family. Sounds great. That's honorable. Except in this case, where Elimelech took his family, was a hostile region. The Moabites did not like the children of Israel one bit. They were constantly going to war with each other or having armed skirmishes. And God had told the children of Israel to stay separate from countries and from peoples that served pagan gods and didn't recognize the one true God. And they worshipped idols. They worshipped pagan deities. So Elimelech broke several of God's commands and took his family to an area that was dangerous for them for the sake of food. While they were there over the course of 10 years, he and both his sons died. Now, I have to wonder if things would have turned out differently if he had either stayed in Bethlehem or gone somewhere else, rather than to Moab just because there was food. He took his family, he turned his back on what God wanted, and he tried to handle things his own self. And I wonder how many times we've done the same thing. Times get tough, things get hard in an area, and rather than depending on God, relying on the promises that he has made and trusting him to hold fast to his word, we pack up and move and try to handle things on our own. I sure don't want to be that way. And yes, I'm guilty of it, but I don't want to be that way anymore, and I'm betting you don't either. Father, help us to trust you. Help us to rely on you, especially when things get tough, especially when things look bad. Lord, help us not to run away and run to the enemy's camp, but rather to rely on you. God bless you guys. I love you.